What the duck is up, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another episode on Duck Takes. As always, with me, my co-host Garrett.
Hey, everybody.
And yours truly, Blake. Today, we're going to be doing a movie rundown of some films that we have seen of recently. Some of them new films, some of them Oscar buzz films. The newest film that we're going to be talking about and reviewing is going to be Wolfman. And then we're going to run down through essentially our letterbox and what we've seen recently. Going to be talking about Anora, Sing Sing, Kneecap.
By the time this comes out, my letterbox will be updated.
Oh, okay. So
I go in spurts.
Yeah, he does.
I backtrack.
So go follow us on Letterboxd if you haven't already. Bonus content, as always, make sure to check us out on Patreon. And hey, check out our YouTube as well. You can see the full video versions of these podcast episodes on YouTube. And we've been doing quizzes and polls every day on YouTube as well. So go ahead and check those out. Most recent poll is, who is the best Jedi? Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, or Luke Skywalker? But what movie do you want to talk about first?
You know what? Since it's fresh in the mind, let's talk about Kneecap.
Okay, talk about Kneecap. I like that. Kneecap, 2024 film that has gotten a lot of international buzz. It's an Irish film. And this is one that I recently watched on Netflix. I told you to watch it because I really thought it's right up your alley. Almost like a Irish Straight Outta Compton, in my opinion.
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Honestly.
You got that feel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I loved it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Kneecap. Essentially, it's a drama comedy, but it kind of essentially is like a biopic.
Yeah.
So Kneecap is a real Irish hip hop trio from West Belfast, Northern Ireland, that was known for, being banned from Irish radio stations for their drug references and cursing. Again, this reminds me a lot of NWA.
Mm-hmm.
And
they dealt with a lot of that shit.
Yeah. But the band members themselves were in this movie, played themselves in this movie.
Oh, I did not know that was actually that. Wow.
Yes. So our main protagonist, our main artist, that's them. And the DJ is him as well. Yes.
Well, I loved them all.
Right.
I thought they all gave great performances.
Fantastic.
Holy shit. That just made me love this even more.
Yes. I think Kneecap might be the most under the radar film of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I think it absolutely should have been nominated in the best international category at the Oscars. 100%. I love the story here and how it is very, there is a lot of resemblance to what hip hop rap went through here in America, like NWA and all of that. And how they were, trying to censor them and not get rap on the radio. And I really enjoyed the story for Kneecap as well. It was a story that personally I was very unfamiliar with.
I was completely unaware of any of this.
With the Irish culture.
Yeah. And the original like Irish language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how the original Irish language was banned in their country.
Mm-hmm.
And it was illegal for them to use that language.
Was it illegal for them to use it or I don't think it was illegal for them to use it. It's like
I think it was outlawed.
Look it up. Let's double check real
quick
before we start talking about that. Yeah, no, you're right.
It
was banned.
Yeah,
for a long time. Irish is recognized as an official language of Northern Ireland as of December 6, 2022,
That's crazy.
When the Identity and Language Act became law. The Irish Language Act officially repealed the legislation from 1737 that banned the use of Irish in courts.
But I think that's a fantastic story. Like, it's kind of insane that
this
an official language,
something this recent,
this recent, that an official language was banned from a group of people until 2022.
Yeah.
No,
wow. I didn't understand that full gravity. I knew it was obviously from the movie. You understand it is like definitely frowned upon. They don't want to promote it. It's, they just want people to speak
the English language,
the Queen's English, basically.
Right. Yeah, the King's
English.
English, yeah. Because
if you don't mind, old boy, go out speaking the King's.
Right. Because Ireland does fall under that UK umbrella.
Yeah.
All those laws and whatnot.
So wow, yeah,
crazy. But it was such a stylistic film too. Like the way it was edited, I thought was very fresh, unique.
Yes, like the little animations and stuff in there. I did like that part of it.
Again, story was great. I thought the pacing was great. I really enjoyed our characters. And again, it was just like reminded me of Straight Outta Compton, where, you know, it has a lot of its dramatic moments, a lot of its comedic moments, great relationships.
Fighting that censorship.
Yeah.
It's amazing what music has to go through a lot of times. Like, I swear, music is probably one of the things that people try to control the most, and it seems to prevail a lot.
Yeah.
Music prevails.
Yeah, because it's like, how can you stop that at the end of the day?
You can't stop creativity. I feel like music just hits people in a place where, like, nothing else really can.
Right.
And, you know, if people love a genre, they're gonna stick to it.
Yeah. What?
Oh, I thought you were telling me I had shit on my nose.
Oh, no, I'm just itching mine.
Oh. who scratches their nose like this?
I do.
Oh my God.
When we're recording.
Just do this like a normal person. God.
What you were saying.
But yeah, it's hard to stop the feeling that music creates. For sure. So
yeah, I really enjoyed like seeing the progression of, you know, their music catching on in this movie as well.
Yeah, and with how easily things can catch on like that with social media, one person with their phone started recording them in that bar, and their next show packed.
Yeah, because this is a recent rap group in Ireland that formed in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
So it is very recent. Social media was around, and it was cool to see how it started catching on. And I mean, I love that it was, you know, the rap genre as well. And like, cause I never really thought about that. You know, I listen to UK rap from time to time.
Same.
Like a UK grime. But I never, like, they were talking about how there was no Irish rap. And I just thought that was really interesting.
I never even thought about it really.
Yeah.
I mean, I just figured it was like a part of the country that didn't really get, or I just figured it was like a part of the world that didn't really get exposed to it, I guess. Or
I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, clearly we see why it was, you know, but is it rap really that was the problem here? I think it was the Irish language that was the problem.
Well, it was the Irish languages and the drug
promotion.
Yes. Which again, I mean, that was a heavy thing within like American rap as well, is, you know, all of this, you know, quote unquote negative stuff. But he's like, hey, we're just talking about stuff we see in our community, you know?
Yeah. Because they
talking
felt
about
like it
real
was
shit.
Yeah, they thought it was promoting gun violence and, you know, like, you know, telling people like attack the police and stuff like that. But it's like, nah, dude, this is just how we actually feel because this is what we go through.
This is what we see in our communities. So maybe y'all should do something about it to fix it.
So we don't got shit to rap about.
Right. Yeah. So I thought it was really interesting seeing those parallels there because I had never really thought about that genre across seas like that besides, you know, UK being that. And I guess rap really did originate, and it's really crazy how much it's been popularized around the globe now.
Yeah.
Because it's not
like
really
compared to where it started.
Right. It's not that old of a genre when you think about it.
It's not
at all.
I will say, I think DJ Provy was my favorite.
DJ Provy was good.
I loved him, bro. He was. I loved that he was just a music teacher.
Yeah, and
this was like just a passion that he had, and he heard their lyrics, and he was like, "I could make some good shit out of this." Like they got talent. And bro, I will say, I was like jamming with some of their stuff. Yeah. I liked the songs.
Some of the songs were good.
That's
another thing that I enjoyed about Kneecap as well was the music.
And like when they were speaking Irish, that's where those animations came into play. They had like the translated lyrics on the screen so you could follow along. I like that.
Yeah. Our cousin Eric, like a few weeks ago, was talking about Kneecap, and I had seen like a review or two here on Letterboxd about it that were good reviews.
Yeah.
But I still didn't really know what it was about.
Yeah, no, I went in blind.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that a lot with movies.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it that way. And I mean, yeah, even on Letterboxd, it really doesn't have that many watched viewings. So it is a very under the radar movie. It's been nominated, has won some awards internationally over in Europe, but yeah, I think it absolutely should have been nominated for Best International Feature Film at the Oscars. It was really good. I was caught off guard by how much I liked it.
Same. And you know, we talk about how pissed we were with freaking Emilia Perez and the horrible representation that does for Mexico. I'm like, this is how you do a fucking culture film.
Yeah.
This is how you do a culture film.
Especially if you want to
right
make
here.
it about music as well.
Yeah.
You know, and also push and want to talk about a political statement as well.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That was really good. And not to mention, this is how you know a movie is good. We haven't even mentioned that Michael Fassbender's in it.
Right? Yeah. He was a minor role,
Yeah.
but I feel like that was just like an added bonus that he was in there. And also maybe they tried to get him to, get a little bit of name recognition because you don't really know anybody in this movie actor wise.
Right.
At least I didn't.
No, I didn't either. Michael Fassbender's easily the biggest acting name in here.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I'm glad he did it because it seems like the type of movie that's right up his alley. And also, I think that's like the perfect big name for that movie, an Irish actor, Irish born actor for, this certain movie. Like they didn't have any Mexico born actors in Amelia Perez.
Nope.
Fantastic movie. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it.
No, I'll tell you who my favorite character was.
Oh, what's her name? Jessie Reynolds?
Georgia.
That's the character's name, Georgia, but Jessie Reynolds is the actress name. Might have a new celebrity crush in there.
Whew.
She was great. She offered a fiery relationship to this movie.
She played Crazy Girl very well.
Yeah. And then, you know what? There's some good twists in there too.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There is a good twist. I was like,
yeah. But yeah, it's just a really interesting story that I was very unfamiliar with within Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also very educational.
It was very educational movie on like recent events too. It's not like you're watching history.
Yeah, I know.
It just happened recently.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, or want to move on to the next movie?
We can move on.
All right. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Oh, I was thinking 4.
Okay.
But I mean 4.5. Yeah. I wouldn't.
I was just really shocked of how much I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you on. I'm not gonna fight you on a 4.5. It's a very good movie.
Anything else you want to talk about next? What movie do you want to talk about next? Because there's a few that I can talk about. That I know you haven't seen yet.
Well, then let's stick to what we both know right now.
Okay.
So let's talk Wolfman then.
Okay, Wolfman. Wolfman, the new horror movie by Universal. Clearly off of the original classic Universal monster, Wolfman. And I think this might be the first 2025 movie I've seen, actually. Because January usually doesn't have the best releases.
Yeah.
And that's usually what happens for January films. But directed by Lee Winnell, who also did Invisible Man in 2020. Did you see Invisible Man in 2020?
I didn't, but weren't they were pretty
great.
good, right?
No, they were great. And a lot of people were shocked by how good it was because once again, that was another
classic.
Yeah, classic Universal monster.
Yeah.
That they went and remade. And, obviously can be a lot of skepticism when it comes to remaking that classic of a film, especially a lot of the beloved Universal monsters. And so there was definitely hope going into Wolfman, also starring Julia Gardner as Charlotte, who a lot of people know her from Ozark. What was her name in Ozark? Marty Bird and the fuck was her name? I know y'all know who we're talking about. Ruth in Ozark. Christopher Abbott as Blake. And he was also in Poor Things. You saw Poor Things, right? No? Okay. He was in Poor Things. He's in a few other things, but yeah, he was in Poor Things last year and he played a dick, but he was really good in it. Wolfman. First reaction. We haven't talked about this at all yet.
No, we haven't. I was very like average.
Yeah.
Honestly, is kind of my takeaway. I thought the Wolfmen themselves looked fine. Like I had no problem with the CGI work and stuff like that. Or did they do a lot of practical?
A lot of practical for how they look, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought some of the shots were cool, like when they showed the Wolfman vision, basically. I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that was a unique new touch.
Yeah.
As opposed to other Wolfman movies.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
So I did like that part, but overall it was the human aspect of it that was the weakest for me. I was like, I didn't buy this family for a second. The family felt very forced. Julie Gardner, I don't think this was the role for her. Especially, it's like, and honestly, a lot of that has to do with looks alone. Because I'm like, bro, I get that she's 30, but she looks like she could be 20.
Yeah, I can't buy that she was a mom in this movie.
No, she is so young looking. It came off as unbelievable, and it just took me out.
Because Christopher Abbott is 38, but he definitely looks old enough to be in that dad
I believed
role.
him being a dad, no problem. But I did not love the whole, what am I thinking thing. I didn't, you're a mind reader. That little gimmick was not.
Just a little cheesy for you?
A little too cheesy for me. But yeah, I mean, it was like, I thought there were some cool moments in here. It seemed very predictable. I'm going to just spoil it right now for you.
Okay, spoiler alert, I guess.
Spoiler alert. Close your eye, close your ears. Close your eyes and ears for the next 5 seconds. His dad is the wolf man that's attacking them. That I called that a mile away. Yeah. I called it a mile away.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't call that a mile away, but I was able to call like everything else that was gonna happen.
Like what?
Like how it ended, how where it was gonna end, that kind of sort thing. Yeah.
No, dude, I called that reveal so early because I was like, they said they hadn't heard from him.
Yeah. It is a predictable movie.
Yeah.
I was definitely underwhelmed. I think it showed moments of a lot of good.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it was, I will say, like it wasn't a waste of my time. Like I'm not gonna sit here and rave about it, but it was worth seeing in my opinion.
Like there would be a good 2 to 5 minutes, and then I would be bored for like the next 20. Okay. And then I would be intrigued again for another few minutes, and then another 20 minutes go by, and I'm like, all right, let's get going. Let's make something happen. So it was all right in my opinion. Again, I like you said, I couldn't buy the family. I just couldn't. I found it interesting how quickly the story moved in the beginning and how fast we got to that location and how fast the transformation started to happen. I was a little shocked at that.
Yeah. It did happen very quick. It wasn't a lot of subtlety when it came to like him starting the transformation. But I will say at the beginning of the transformation, before we saw any physical changes in him, and it was just like the hearing loud stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
I did like that, and I thought they did a good job. I thought the actor did a great job of like showing that, especially with his movements. With smelling. Like you could already tell he just got like a little bit more animalistic with his behavior.
I agree.
I did like those subtleties, and I thought the actor did a great job in that part.
I agree, and that's what I'm talking about when we see those moments of greatness. I thought the actor Christopher Abbott, who did play the Wolfman, did do a really good job at showing that slow progression of his transformation.
Yes, it wasn't like immediately.
Yeah. I agree.
They did a good job.
I guess kind of spoiler alert, but there is no lore within the moon of like a werewolf or anything. So if you're expecting some werewolf lore, that there's none of that in there, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, it's just like a disease.
No silver bullet, no nothing like that.
No, it's just a disease. So that's where I think it loses some interest in the story.
Well, I mean, it is Wolfman, not a werewolf. It's different.
But even in like the original, because I've seen the original Wolfman, and there's a whole lore behind.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole lore behind it.
All right. Well, then I can see how that'd be like disappointing going into this.
I do think there wasn't enough wolf in the Wolfman. Yeah, they look a little too.
The Wolfman himself looked a little too human.
Yeah. And honestly, I think the best transformation, even practically, that we're gonna see as from human to Wolfman might be like the I think it's American Werewolf in London. Back in like 81, I believe. And it's one of the examples that you see at the horror and makeup show at Universal Studios. That's really cool. Always fantastic show to go to. But they do go over and show you the transformation of that. And it's really cool. But yeah, it was hard to connect with the characters in this. And I feel like when you have a bottle film like this,
the characters are an important part.
It's very important for us to really root for the character.
Yeah.
Very important, because there's only 3 people in this movie, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place in one location, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the location itself, do you think they spent too much time at that one location, just at the house? And do you think it was a little dark? Like, how do you... I think there were some really cool scenes with lighting, but a lot of it was pretty dark.
It was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they could have switched locations. Like, say they like ran to a neighbor's house, or ran somewhere in the, I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have gotten away from the house. And
yeah, because the house wasn't like my favorite location.
No. And I feel like they could have, like, there could have been a cool like chase scene with like the Wolfman being like right on their tail in the woods, and like show it and they had that vision going, and show like his vision while they're in the woods, and like him like jumping from I don't know, like tree to tree or something. I don't know, man. I feel like they could have switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean there's some good body horror in there for sure.
There is, especially at the beginning.
Yeah,
with that dude weirded me out.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I get you wanted to show that he's like strange and, you know, not someone to be like trusting right off the bat, but I feel like but he was also just like straight up rude. You know, I feel like there's like, even when you meet those people who are, you know, like desensitized, or not desensitized, but like they're so disconnected from
outside world,
like regular civilization.
Yeah,
they still know how to have manners, but it comes off in a way that you don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like
where it's like they're still trying.
Yeah, like they still try, but they have like this. They just have like this creepy like smile about them. Like it seems like they're soulless behind those eyes. You know what I mean? I feel like that should have been the route with that character. Like that whole interaction just felt like awkward to me.
I mean, yeah, that was the point though. It was just to like build some, you know, anxiety, some anticipation, but
yeah, overall I'd say like pretty average. I'm thinking like 2.5 stars on that one.
That's what I gave it, 2.5. Funny enough, you want to hear something funny? Something really funny, actually.
Let's hear it.
Dwayne Johnson was considered for the role of Wolfman back in 2016.
Guess he wanted some redemption for his scorpion transformation.
I mean, thank God that didn't happen, but in the development, apparently, so in 2014, Universal Pictures announced that it's planned for a shared cinematic franchise, later dubbed Dark Universe, centered around their Universal Monsters library, which was to include Wolfman. And then in 2014, a reboot of Universal's The Wolfman was confirmed. And then in 2016, Deadline Hollywood reported on rumors that Dwayne Johnson was considered for the role.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, thank God it didn't lead to that.
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine that, bro.
I can't buy him in anything now.
No.
Like, we didn't buy the family dynamic in this. I couldn't even imagine it with him.
Oh, no. Not to mention, he just would have...
Because we're a family.
Not to mention, I feel like he and his production company would have just put their hands too much in the project and really messed things up.
Yep.
I'm not saying this newest interpretation was the best either.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it definitely could have been worse. And I feel like if he was attached to it, it would have been worse.
Really shocked, though, that haven't really gone more into this dark universe. When Invisible Man came out in 2020, it got great critical praise from critics and audience, but because it did so well, they kind of went in a different direction of a connected cinematic franchise, being that we're just going to let, you know, some creatives put their own style into these classic Universal monsters, which I enjoy that as well.
And just be like their own individual movies.
Yeah. And Invisible Man on a $7 million budget grossed $144 million globally.
Oh shit.
So Invisible Man was a great surprise to a lot of people.
This one seemed pretty low budget too.
Yeah, budget was around $25 million if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And right now it's at like $27 million for the box office.
Okay.
So pretty average. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. I'll just go ahead and talk about these next few movies that I was able to see recently in theaters. Each of them only had one showing. I think maybe the whole week. So I really had to take advantage of seeing these movies, both in the same day. Great double feature. I was finally able to see Sing Sing and Anora. So I'll go ahead and talk about Sing Sing first. Right off the bat, Sing Sing easily should have been nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Sing Sing has been fantastic film, and it really shocks me because I heard a lot of buzz about Sing Sing at Sundance and other film festivals. Colman Domingo's performance.
Yeah.
So I was really shocked to see Sing Sing not get as much attention come award season. And I truly do think it is one of the best films that we've seen in the last year. I've had Dune Part 2 at the top for all of 2024. I've had Furiosa at number 2. After seeing Sing Sing, I do have that at number 2.
Oh, damn.
I do. So now my top 5 for 2024 right now is Dune Part 2, Sing Sing, Furiosa, Nosferatu, and then Kneecap.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good top 5.
You like that top 5?
I do.
But they were not lying. Colman Domingo, absolutely amazing. And Sing Sing is an American prison drama based off of a true story as well. So the plot is Divine G, imprisoned at Sing Sing for a crime he didn't commit. He finds purpose by acting in a theater group alongside other incarcerated men in this story of resilience, humanity, and the transformative power of art. And what's really cool about Sing Sing is that it also stars many real-life, formerly incarcerated men who were themselves alumni of the program during their incarceration.
Oh, wow.
Including Clarence Divine Eye Macklin, who was a part of this program when he was incarcerated, was in this film, and I think he got snubbed for Best Supporting Actor nomination because he was fantastic. Like, he was going toe-to-toe with Colman Domingo, stealing scenes. Like, I was absolutely blown away by his performance.
Damn.
And it like, fantastic to see, and it's such an amazing story, and like the power of art and theater and like expressing yourself, and especially when that's really the only thing you have in your life being incarcerated. It's like, feel free and to express yourself. And yeah, Clarence Macklin was fantastic. And I'm not gonna lie, like this movie got me. It got me.
Made you cry?
It did. It made me cry a few times. It's funny, the viewers behind me, as soon as the movie ended, the credits started rolling, and the girl behind me just goes, 5 stars. I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. But no, this movie really got me, and I think it hit me on a personal level and a relatable level, and not in the sense of like, obviously, you know, I can't relate to
being incarcerated.
Yeah, being incarcerated, like what it's like to be in prison.
Expressing creativity, that kind of thing.
So this is where I think I connected with it. And, you know, there's obviously a lot of stereotypes when it comes to, you know, prison. There's a lot of stereotypes when it comes to the people in prison and like the Black community, right? And I mean, this, you know, the story is very much so a story of the Black community as well. And I feel like in the Black community, it definitely can be looked down upon to be creative and to express yourself in a artistic way, especially theater. And I feel like that same kind of stereotype also can flow into the sports community. So I feel like the sports community and the Black community kind of blend in, like can go hand in hand together. And I mean, yeah, growing up playing football, like it was absolutely, I definitely felt like put in a creative box growing up in football for having to like certain things, not like certain things, you know, not to try certain things. I mean, you know, Clarence Macklin's character in this movie has a hard time. Like he clearly he wants to be there in the theater program, but he has a hard time fully committing and fully going all in and expressing.
Yeah.
This
and like not holding back, basically.
Yeah, because there's a stereotype that he has to be a gangster. This isn't who he is. He has to be tough. He has to, you know, take care of the other people on the yard and be the tough guy.
But that's not what you can do as an actor. Like you have to, as an actor,
you have to be vulnerable.
Yes, that was exactly the word I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable.
You have to be vulnerable. And yes, being in football, you can't be vulnerable because you have to know how to get knocked down and get back up and not let it get in your head, not let it bother you. And, you know, say,
don't let people see weakness.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't be seen as weak because then they will take advantage of that. And yeah, and I've talked about this on some of the Patreon episode as well, where we dive into our lore. But man, I really wish that I did try theater in high school. But if I tried theater while I was also on the football team, I would have easily gotten made fun of.
Oh, you would have been torn apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a creative box that I felt put in growing up because I grew up playing sports. So that's where I connected on a personal level with this movie. It's even got me thinking like, you know what? Maybe I should just sign up for like one on and off class.
I've thought about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why not? Like, you know, what, $200-$300, just go fucking do it. Like,
I've definitely thought about it.
Just to see if you like it. Like,
yeah. And to see if you actually have any kind of talent.
Yeah, because what if you're good at it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, shit.
We've never really been put in a situation to like try it and get feedback on what we do. You know, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So I think that's why this movie also really hit for me on that personal level. And it was just beautifully told. And like, my God, you root for every character in this movie. The performances are fantastic. And the fact that these were real life people that were actually in this program.
Yeah.
That adds another level to this movie.
It makes it more special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like with Kneecap, man. Like that's so cool.
Exactly.
Like, I love that movie so much more because you told me that.
Right. Kneecap and Sing Sing, two movies that should be in Best Picture conversation, in my opinion. Really went under the radar throughout the year. I think Sing Sing is special. I do think it's special.
I think award season has been fucked this year.
Now let's get to Anora. So after I saw Sing Sing at 1 p.m., I had to go back home and wait to go see Anora until 10:50 p.m. because that was the only showing they had.
Jesus.
But directed by Sean Baker, who also directed The Florida Project, which is one of my favorite A24 movies, starring Mikey Madison as Anora. And my God, Mikey Madison is becoming a star. And it's really cool to see after, I mean, we've been watching her since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019. And then Scream 5 in 2022. And this movie is about a young sex worker from Brooklyn whose life takes an unexpected turn when she meets and impulsively marries Vanya, the impetuous son of a Russian billionaire. So this has been another movie that has created an interesting conversation this award season because, so listen to this, overall, out of all the award shows and like all around the world, 224 nominations, 107 wins across all awards. Yet, at the Golden Globes, came away empty, and it could also walk away empty-handed at the Oscars, which I find very interesting because it also won the Palme d'Or at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival, which is one of the most prestigious and popular film festivals in the world. And yet it has been walking away with 0 awards at these award shows here in America.
Dude, I'm about to stop watching American award shows. This is kind of stupid.
It's really interesting. It is really interesting. And again, the odds that Mikey Madison was going to win Best Actress at the Golden Globes and at the Oscars about 3 to 5 months ago was like picking the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Everyone had that as a shoo-in. But now, I mean, Anora's walking away empty-handed. So it's really been interesting to see. Mikey Madison was fantastic. Great performance. And I'm not going to lie. This movie kind of, I was questioning it in the first act.
Questioning it how?
In terms of like, I wasn't really getting best picture from the first act. You know, it was just a lot of, I feel like our generation partying movie. It was like a party movie. But then it really takes a turn and dives into like a drama comedy.
Okay.
And it was funny. It was funny. There was a lot of great actors, a lot of great comedic timing, a lot of sidebars. You know, I love a movie that has a lot of great sidebars or like a line off screen. That
it's just like
hear.
really subtle.
Yes.
And you have to pay attention to hear
yes.
it. Yeah.
It's like that subtle comedy that honestly might be my favorite type of comedy. I love when I hear shit off screen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like imagining how they're looking when they say this shit. It's great. I think you would really like that, the subtle comedy in this movie.
I probably would.
And yeah, it just kind of becomes a wild ride. And so the second and third act definitely reel me in. And by the end of the movie, the ending is tragic. So it's it really takes some turns that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Great character study with Anora. I might be in love with Mikey Madison now. My God. I gave it 4 out of 5. So out of the new movies,
so you like Kneecap better, huh?
I do like Kneecap better. I have Anora at number 7 in my top 10 of 2024.
Okay.
Kneecap at 5, Sing Sing at 2.
All right.
Sing Sing and Doom Part 2 were the only 5 out of 5 star movies that I gave of 2024.
I can't remember how much we talked about this during the Golden Globes video we did, but I did really enjoy The Substance.
Yeah, I forget how much we talked about it as well, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk more about The Substance.
No, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Honestly, it surprised me how much I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny. I think you liked it more than I did.
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, now Demi Moore is like the favorite to win the awards. I was really happy. Well, I mean, there is still more to talk about The Substance because we did just see it get nominated for 5 Oscars.
Yeah.
Which is a big shocker because the Academy is notoriously known for hating horror movies. Nosferatu walked away with 4 nominations as well.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know.
With the awards.
I don't know. We can't win at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? We get Amelia Perez with 13 noms, but then we get some love for the horror genre.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I think the most impressive thing about this movie was its use of practical effects, though.
The body horror was great.
The body horror was really good.
It was really great. And you talked about how there was fantastic sound design as well in this.
Sound design was really good. And just honestly, just this concept. I thought it was a really creative concept that like was very fresh and original.
Yeah, I mean, it's the screenplay is nominated.
Yeah.
The director is nominated. Demi Moore is nominated. I can't remember what else was nominated. Maybe score and maybe sound design.
Should have been sound design.
Yeah, it might be sound design. But it's getting a lot of love this award season.
It's good,
which has been a shocker.
And I know we talked about how this movie was actually like kind of special for Demi Moore too, because you know, she has gone through kind of this thing in life, especially as an actress, and like how people have told her that, you know, she's not pretty enough, and she kind of how she's just another pretty face.
Right. She's a popcorn actress.
Yes, exactly. Like, you know, her acting ability isn't really like what's special about her. It's just her physical appearance.
Right.
And that's kind of like the core base of this entire movie.
Dude, you know what I didn't know? I found this out after the last time we talked about The Substance. Dude, Demi Moore is like 62.
Yeah, no shit. I knew she was that
or like 63.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's old.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought she was like late 40s, early 50s.
Looks amazing for her age.
Dude, she looks fantastic because when she had made the speech about, I've been in this industry for 45 years, I think she said.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, were you acting since like a child, like a little girl? And then I'm like, oh, no, she's just 63 years old.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Pretty crazy.
It's crazy. She looks fantastic.
So I'm sure this was definitely a film that hit home for her as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I am happy to see the horror genre get its attention, especially come award season. Here's a question though that I want to ask. So I saw this stat from our friend Pop Culture Brian of how anyone born after 1991 has not won an Oscar.
I did see that.
While I love that these actors and actresses have been getting the wins that they have deserved their whole career, have the Golden Globe and Oscars now become more about career legacy wins as opposed to
actual performance
best wins?
I think it's fair to say yes to that, because I don't know, maybe they're feeling guilty for not giving these, you know, legendary actors their flowers when they deserved it.
Yeah.
And now they're like trying to make up for it with stuff that they're doing these days. But it's like, but now our generation of actors is getting completely screwed by that fact.
Right. Because like I said earlier, a lot of people would have bet their entire house that Mikey Madison was going to be winning every Oscar or every award she was nominated for.
Yeah.
And now it's not looking like that.
No, we don't really have
like even Timothée Chalamet, who has been nominated plenty of times.
Kills me the way you say his name.
Timothée Chalamet. He's also been a part of 7 Best Picture nominations now, which is pretty crazy by his age. But you could easily argue that he should have won an award by now.
Yeah.
And you can never not convince me that Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once was not a legacy win.
That was 100%.
Because Stephanie Hsu, who was in the same movie, easily should have won that award over her.
Yeah.
So are these becoming more legacy wins? Sympathy legacy wins as opposed to best win?
I mean, I say yes, but
yeah, I think you could say that.
Yeah.
And last movie to wrap up this movie rundown, I'm going to talk about A Different Man, which is another movie that I've not been able to stop thinking about since I watched it, starring Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson, who is great as well, which is about aspiring actor Edward undergoes a radical medical procedure to drastically transform his appearance, but his new dream face quickly turns into a nightmare as he loses out on the role he was born to play and becomes obsessed with reclaiming what was lost. I thought this was a very unique way to tell the story and like the social commentary on, do we hire actors who were born for the part, who look for the part, or who's best for the part?
Yeah.
So Adam Pearson, who this is, based off of and does star in the movie as well, who has a physical deformity, comes into this movie while Sebastian Stan, who has the same physical deformity, but then his face's medical procedure transforms him into Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Like the way he looks, obviously not the actor.
Yeah.
And now, he's trying his hardest to leave that person basically in the ground, because he acts like that person has died, and goes on to live his life as a whole new person.
Yeah.
While Adam Pearson, Oswald in this movie, who has that same physical deformity, but yet he's able to achieve everything Sebastian Stan's character, Edward, has wanted his whole life with those deformities.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you react to life, how you react to situations.
Yeah.
It's all about your reaction.
That wasn't his That wasn't his problem.
Right. That wasn't holding him back. He had all these friendships, relationships with women, like love.
Yeah.
Career achievements, acting.
Yeah.
Like all these things that Edward had wanted, but thought his deformity was holding him back. And I think it was a very interesting character study that way.
Yeah.
And here I go again with the music, but the score was great. The score was fantastic. I've been listening to that theme nonstop. I'm not even kidding.
I'm starting to think you're not that easy. You're pretty easy to impress when it comes to music now.
Nope, I'm not. I think I'm just really good at pinpointing the fantastic scores. I think I have curated my ear to really know what a good score is. And I'll play you the theme after this episode. It's a great theme, but fantastic movie. And you just see the spiral downfall of Edward, Sebastian Stan's character in this, It's just a very, very unique and interesting character study that I also think he should have been nominated for. Now, it's funny, Sebastian Stan was nominated for Best Actor, but for The Apprentice, where he plays Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't get why the Academy loves when an actor plays a real person so much. Like, they fucking love it.
They do.
I don't get that.
I think it probably has something to do with just like, it's normally like an inspirational story.
But I mean, as The Apprentice, it's not. He plays Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And it may be more of a statement that they nominated him for The Apprentice because of obviously, Trump taking office. And but I do think Sebastian Stan should have been nominated for A Different Man performance-wise over that. So, but really good movie. Another one I highly recommend. Also made it into my top 10. This is at number 6.
Dang.
I'm telling you, I think the back half, all the great movies always come out in the back half.
Yeah.
And Kneecap has made my top 10. A Different Man has made my top 10. Sing Sing's made the top 10. And Anora has made the top 10.
Dang.
Yeah. Recommend all those movies. 4.5 stars out of 5 for me for A Different Man. All right. I think that's going to do it for this movie rundown. We definitely plan to make this a reoccurring segment on here because there's been plenty of times where we just go on a watching spree of movies, log them on Letterboxd, and if you don't follow us on Letterboxd, go ahead and follow us on Letterboxd. But I feel like it's only right that it's not. We got to share what we've been watching with all y'all as well. As always, thanks for making it this far. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all give us a follow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Letterboxd. Make sure to give us a review and rating on Apple and Spotify, wherever you're listening to. And hope to see you next time on Duck Takes.
See you guys.